Let me share with you how you can make your own DIY planter box through just a few easy steps. This is an easy project that any beginner or also advanced person can try. You only need a minimum tools for this project. Here's a list of the tools and the materials that you're going to need for this project. And also remember your wood stain and sealer as well. Get pumped up and let's get ready to build. For this project, the type of wood that I use is called treated pine. So basically, treated pine is already treated for any weather conditions. So it will be able to last longer in rainy season and also other types of weathers as well. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to make the longer side of the planter box. So the length of this planter box is 1,200 millimeter long. So take your wood cuts and put them together using your wood clamps, and the small pieces that I'm holding is basically your support. So that's actually basically what is going to join the three pieces together. So take note of that and then put screws, ensure that they're nice and tight and secure. The trick here is just to make sure to use screws which are long enough in order to penetrate on the other side as well. So that's very important. And also remember your middle support. So what the middle support is going to do, it's going to act as a barrier to hold the weight when you put your sand. If you're going to try this project, please let me know down in the comment section and share this video and subscribe to my channel for more DIY projects just like this. The middle support part is very important. Please do not skip this part because it's very important. So you need to repeat this process until you have two similar looking longer side of the 1,200 millimeter cuts. Then now the next phase is for us to just move on and make the smaller side. So this is very easy and very functional to do. Any beginner can try this project. Here's a tip. You may not find the exact wood cuts that I'm using for this project. So the best tip that I can give you is that find something which is more similar, but the procedure and the way of execution this product is more or less the same. So don't be intimidated if you don't find the exact wood cuts, because I found the 12 by 69 millimeter. So if you don't find that, always find something which is similar that you'll be able to work with. Now that you're done with the smaller side or the side of the planter box, the next thing that you need to do is to make sure that you join the two pieces together. So in this next coming phase, please take note that the next phase has to be very crucial, because you need to make sure that your planter is in a straight line position. Because if this process doesn't go as well, you're going to have a situation where your planter box is not straight, and we cannot have that. So in this case, if you have someone who can assist you and with putting the pieces together, that will be very perfect. So if you don't have anyone, you can always use your wood clamps to put the pieces together. And if you have a split square, so what a split square is just to make sure that the corners are straight and are aligned, and make sure that everything is in a proper form. So please use your split square when you're putting the pieces together to make sure that everything is in a straight line position. This part here is one of the most important phases of your planter box. So please make sure that you take your time when you're doing this process. Don't rush this process, because you need your planter box to be in a rectangular form. By rectangular form, we want it to be straight, and we cannot have it wobbly, because if it's not straight, you're gonna have a situation where one side is holding more weight than the other side. So please take note that please make sure that this process is nice and straight. If you're not sure about something, please just make sure that you take your time while you do this process. Here's another tip. If you don't have wood cutting equipment, you can always ask your local hardware store to do the wood cuttings for you. That's something that I always do as often as as possible. I always make sure that I take advantage of that service that they offer, because of two things. One, I'm not yet confident in using wood cutting equipment, for example your table saw and your major things. So I do advise that use that service at the hardware store, where they will cut the wood cuts for you. If you're loving this content, please do let me know, and let me know if you're going to be trying this or you're going to be sharing this with your loved ones. And do try all the projects that I share with you weekly, and let me know down in the comment section what color stain will you be making yours to be. Please remember you can make your own personal modifications on this project. So for my planter box is 1,200 millimeter long, which is 1.2 meters long. You can even make it longer or even shorter as well. Please take note of that. So this is not a one size fits all. It's just the inspiration on how you can work on it. Now that we come into the final part of the project, so I'm putting my bottom part and my bottom support, which is the 475mm wood cut. So in this process here, this is make sure that it's nice and straight, and make sure that you leave enough space between the wood cuts for water to flow through. So this is very important. Here's a clear view of how the inside of the planter box looks. So please remember to leave space between the wood cuts so that water can flow through. And also another option is for you to drill holes as well. This process here is what we call sanding. So what basically sanding is just typically removing material and making sure the edges are nice and smooth. So this is what I'm doing. If you don't have an electric sander, always use a normal sanding paper. It works perfectly fine as well. Coming to my favorite part, which is also staining. I love my black stain, and it gives it a bit of character and it pops of color. So you can choose any different color stain you have. You'll notice that I'm only covering the outside of the planter box. This is to save paint, and also I don't think it's necessary to paint inside. Look how stunning this is. So the next phase that I'm going to do is just to basically protect my planter box from inside. So the material that I'm going to be using, I'm using a recyclable bag that I have from Woolworths. So we paid for this bag, so we have to put them to good use. So I'm going to line them up in the inside of the planter box, and also put compost and also normal sand inside of the planter box. So this process here is freestyle. It's one of my favorite projects that I've ever done as well. It's very functional, and I'm also planning on doing something which is similar. So if you don't have compost, you can always use normal sand in this phase. And if you want your planter to last longer and also not to be in contact with sand, to be in contact with the wood itself, so I advise that you use a normal gardening plastic just to cover the inside of the planter box. So I've had my planter box for more than 6 months now, so I have not had any issues or any problems such as rotting. So but the best things for me is to recommend that you cover the inside so that the sand must not be in contact with the wood itself for longer, for it to last longer as well. Please let me know down in the comment section if you're going to be trying this, or if you're going to be making this for a loved one or making it for yourself. So I'm using mine for just normal flowers, and you can use this, especially if you stay in an area where you don't have enough space. You can use this as a vegetable garden planter box, so it works perfectly well. And I love how this project is. You can even customize it and put wheels. Let me know down in the comment section if you're going to be trying this, and thank you so much for your love and your support. And until next time, cheers, bye.